From my experience coaching working professionals, internal interviewing trips up more people than you would think. So why do you think that is? From many of the students I've coached, it trips them up because they have the mindset of, we're all friends here, and my boss and everyone knows what I do. So this is just a formality. I don't have to try near as hard as I would if I went to a different company. Now there are instances which are as simple as, well, Beth left, you're the senior person, I think we can give you a 5% raise. I'll let the rest of the team know on Monday and the rest of the company know on Tuesday. But that scenario doesn't happen as often as for an internal candidate as the scenario of an internal candidate actually having to formally interview with the boss and senior leadership, and then having to compete against other internal candidates and external candidates. So I had you read 5 ways to prepare for an internal interview. Now, I discovered it a couple of years ago. For an article in a General News and Business Journal, it really spoke to the situation of working professionals I've coached to this point. The article referenced 2 big aha moments. The first is, your boss probably doesn't know as much as you think about your achievements, skills, and value to the team. Well, how can this be? You have a performance evaluation every year where you recap your wins and establish goals for the upcoming year. Well, your boss probably doesn't know the minute detail about what you do and how you do it so well, and how that benefits you and the company, and how that would benefit you and the company in the next role. And don't get blindsided that you may interview with other people whom you don't know. So this isn't uncommon, especially in larger companies. As the article said, always assume your interviewers don't know anything about you or what you do, and explain it in a way that you would if you were interviewing at a different company. Otherwise, you risk getting passed over simply because you assumed too much knowledge on the part of your interviewers. Now, I referenced the second aha moment in my intro. Don't assume the job has been bequeathed to you because you're next. It's easy to think, especially if you're in a position where the promotion is within your team and it's the next logical linear step for you. I've heard a good number of horror stories where the student had actually been doing the job already, but were too cavalier or familiar with presenting their candidacy. Don't assume the job is in the bag. Now, this might sound obvious to you, but loads of internal candidates have missed out on promotions because they acted as if the jobs were already theirs. It's easy to fall into this trap, given that you're a known quantity, people like you, and you may have already been doing some of the work in the new role. The article gave good advice when it advocated that an internal candidate should prepare just the same as they would for any other interview. While the feel of the interview might be less formal, assume the questions and overall substance will be just as rigorous as if you were a stranger to your interviewers. This means you should spend significant time preparing to talk about your skills and experience and thinking of evidence you can point to in your professional past to show why you would excel in the new position. Now, here are some ideas that students from previous years have given from their candidacy or hiring manager experiences. By the time you're in the formal interview process, the developmental crucial conversation phase is done. At this point, it is in the hiring manager's best interest to assess all candidates for the appropriate competencies and fits. So position yourself versus external candidates who might have fresh insights. Know what happened to the last internal hire. Research, research, research. Ask questions about the new job, its challenges and performance expectations. You should have networked with people who have had similar jobs or held jobs or had similar jobs or held the job before. Know your reputation before you go in, both the good and the bad. Prepare to reshape opinions. Give examples. Give examples from work or things that you've learned and done in business school. Check in with the interviewer on the process, because internal interviews are different than they are for external processes. Be prepared to address career blemishes. Focus on recent results and business school successes. Offer plans and goals for the job once it's yours. Explain the benefit for the business. Avoid being overly familiar. Be professional. Address how you would relate to colleagues differently. Focus on adaptability. Explain how you would handle the transition and additional training. Highlight any qualifications that you may have come from previous employment or business school training. And lastly, sell yourself. Know your strengths and weaknesses.